The following presentation is
Broken Matt Hardy has debuted in TNA. He's back in TNA, back in the Impact Zone. Matt Hardy, the broken version of Matt Hardy, debuted last night, and might be an unpopular opinion. I liked it. I don't know. I'm seeing everywhere on Twitter that, people are crapping on this and making fun of it and stuff, and I get what they mean. Matt Hardy is old. He can barely walk. He has a broken nose, and he wasn't doing very good in his last couple of years in AEW. But, if I'm going to have any Matt Hardy in 2024, I would want it to be the broken Matt Hardy in 2024. I enjoyed the broken gimmick. I enjoyed the woken gimmick. I thought it could do really well in AEW, but he debuts and then a couple of months later, he's just normal Matt Hardy, and then Jeff comes in. Nothing really happened there. This is good for Matt. AEW didn't need him. He wasn't doing anything in AEW. I think this is fine. So Matt Hardy goes to TNA. We'll see what happens there. Now, personally, I don't watch TNA, and I never have. However, last night it was Rebellion. We got Matt Hardy. We have Ziggler and Moose in the main event. Sami Callihan is back. Santana debuts, he returns back to TNA, but Santana, kind of appeared. Now, I'm looking at the TNA roster here, and look, I don't watch TNA, I don't, but looking at the roster, and there's actually a lot more stars that are in this company than I originally thought. Mustafa Ali is one of them. Alan 5 Angels, without the 5. Brian Myers, I knew. Dirty Dongo. I did not know Fandango was in TNA. That's crazy. Aiden English. Man, they got Matt Cardona. Now they have Santana, Matt Hardy, Nick Nemeth, a.k.a. Dolph Ziggler. Oh, yeah, Santino Marella is in TNA, bro. Look. The reason why I made this video is because last night I was on Twitter and, Matt Hardy's coming out and Sami Callihan returns and Santana comes back. And I'm watching it and it doesn't look that bad. And I have to think to myself, well, you know what? I've actually heard for years that TNA has some great storylines and that the women's division in TNA is great and everything's good. And we had Nick Nemeth and Moose in the main event. And it seems like they kind of know what they're doing over there, despite 200 people showing up to the shows. They actually look like they have storylines and they have decent booking. And so the question I have to ask myself is TNA better than AEW? Now, I don't have the answer because I don't watch TNA, but I gotta be honest, I might start watching TNA. I've always been a fan of Ziggler, my whole life. From when I was a kid, Ziggler was my absolute favorite. And just looking at the roster, there's more here that I didn't even know of. So I think I'm going to start watching TNA, and then you know what? I think in a couple of months I'm going to make a video, and I'm going to have an answer to that question. I'm going to see if TNA is better, is more entertaining than AEW. Because one thing I have heard about TNA is that it is wildly overbooked. That's something that I've heard. I can't verify if that's true or not. But to be honest, I'd rather have overbooked than underbooked, which is what we're getting right now in AEW. Let's take a look at the Dynasty card. And again, sometimes my videos age very poorly. I'm hoping this video ages poorly and AEW starts knocking it out of the park. But let's look at the Dynasty card, right? Because Dynasty's coming up tonight. I'm going to skip what I think are the pre-show matches. Just go to the main card. So we have Hook and Chris Jericho. This is a match I am not interested in. I do think Hook is going to win, but really, who knows? Taz could get involved, maybe get his revenge on Jericho or something like that. I don't think Jericho necessarily needs the win, but Jericho's been putting over a lot of people lately. Jericho just consistently keeps losing. Hook beat Jericho a couple of months back. We have Adam Copeland, Eddie Kingston, and Mark Briscoe versus the House of Black. It's hard to say, man, because I don't want Adam Copeland losing. You don't want that, but you also don't want the House of Black to lose again. The thing I will say about this card that's different from the recent couple of pay-per-views for AEW, most matches here have a story, which is very good, especially the main event, Swerve and Joe. That's been a story that's been going on for months. Ospreay Danielson doesn't really have a story. But the Young Bucks FTR, that's got the story. You got Pac and Okada. Pac and Okada, they've been feuding for a couple of weeks, and I'm not really invested or interested in it at all, but at least this match makes sense. Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly. This could have been something huge. I don't understand why this wasn't huge. I believe he had one match on Collision, and that's why this match is being made. Tony Storm and Thunder Rosa, I am excited for. I don't think Thunder Rosa is winning, however. I think it's going to go back to Tony Storm. Tony's just too good right now. The only person who can beat Tony Storm at this point is Jamie Hayter, when she comes back, because Toni Storm is killing it. Now, I'm going to take a look at last night's TNA Rebellion card. Last night's card doesn't look that great either, but I don't watch TNA, so I don't know. Every single match here could have had an incredible, compelling story that I just don't know about. I'm just looking at who were the stars that were on last night, and Slammiversary is coming up, so. But Nick Nemeth was on, Mustafa Ali, great. I Know Moose, great. Eric Young, Frankie Kazarian. That's pretty much all I know. But I just have this weird feeling that TNA is gonna start climbing. I have a feeling TNA is going to get bigger and bigger within the next couple of years. Probably not to AEW status or WWE status or any of that, but I just have a feeling they might make a small, slight comeback. But if you watch TNA, you let me know what you think. Do you think TNA right now is more entertaining than AEW? Because I'd love to know. If you think it is, I mean, that's great. I'm going to start watching the show. Maybe I'll start making TNA videos. Good night.